we're jumping into some new player action now between Will McCarty at the bottom of the screen. That's Argon Platypus, and Kevin Coe, Gagplex at the top. This is recorded by Will, so we're seeing his blue-black control. Red-green at the top of the screen from Kevin. It looks like it's a dinosaur deck. So it's a Jade Light Rangers is going to be met with an Essence Scatter straight up. So passing of the turn, no counter spells in hand, and Rekindling Phoenix now is going to get some work done. So Consign to Oblivion will bounce the Phoenix at the end of turn, but again he misses his land drop. The Essence Scatter though is a good pickup. It's going to enable him to get rid of that Phoenix this time round. So again, he can't hit the land drop. Commit to Memory will buy him another turn, or it won't now because Carnage Tyrant can't be countered. Although he could have actually cast Commit Memory on the Carnage Tyrant because it doesn't counter. Commit Memory only returns it to the hand. So if he wanted to bounce the Tyrant back, he could have done that. That's an interaction that I think a lot of people don't realize. It's much the same in Modern we see with Spell Queller when it can exile Supreme Verdict. But suddenly there's a lot of power and a lot of problems on the board here. Kevin Coe asking a lot of questions. Will McCarty looks like he might be about to go down in game 1 of Standard. Fatal Push no good on this board. 11 power, and this is going to drop him to 2. He still needs to answer the Carnage Tyrant. Gearhulk is short, so we're going to go to game 2. Needed the 6 mana. Oops. Sorry, this should be game 2 of Standard. He's kept a very risky one-lander here. And he finds it off the top. And Search for a Skant is going to be able to help him fix that up. But here's the Earthshaker Kenra. So Kevin Coe's on a pretty nice curving, aggressive green-red deck. Definitely wants to keep that. You can see Will's got a very high curve. 2 4s, a 5 and a 6 drop. Gonti will do well here. What's he going to get? And a Carnage Tyrant. He snaps that one up very quickly. Oh, but Chandra's a good pickup. Chandra will remove the Gonti, but we can see that Will has the Vraska's Contempt in hand to take care of it. The only problem is that Glorybringer. So there's a lot of questions that need answering now from Kevin Coe. Kenra will be able to push through because Glorybringer takes down the block at the Aetherborn. So even if he removes Chandra here, he's still got lethal on board. He can't actually get he's got to use that Vraska's Contempt on the Glorybringer or he's just dead. He just Vraska's... Oh, no, sorry, the Glorybringer is actually tapped. So he needs to top deck a land here or it's over. He's going to get 2 chances with the Skanta. Whoa. Yeah, top deck a land and get Gearhulk. It's a tapped land, so he can play out Scarab God as a chump blocker here. This does not look good. In they all come, and that's going to be the game. I think just going through the formalities. But we're going to jump into some Modern now. After Kevin Coe at the top of the screen got game one with... Ooh. Kevin Coe at the top of the screen got game one, got standard 2-0 against Will McCarty at the bottom of the screen. Will's on Jund, and he's up against an Elves deck. You can see here, Liliana, the Last Hope, is going to absolutely do damage on this board, providing he can find another black source. All these 1/1s are going to get mopped up. But can he find the blacks? He tops it, so very good. So this could be a very fast game one. All the 1/1s coming down just to be eaten up by Liliana. 3 of them. But that's going to help. So the Archdruid will put them out of range. Colligan's Command is another timely top deck. Get rid of the Archdruid and force Kevin to discard his last card. So playing off the top of his deck now. Liliana will start to go to work on the Mana Dorks. And there's another one to eat up. He might be interested in just Abrupting Decay the Elvish Mystic. But he'll take down the Archdruid with the Decay. It's probably a better target. Plenty of removal. This doesn't look like a good matchup here for Jund. For Elves, sorry. Jund's got plenty of removal. And Tireless Tracker, this is becoming inevitable now. I think we're going to see a game 2, and so Will McCarty, after losing Standard, has got his first points of the season in game 1 of Modern. So can he get the job done here in game 2? You can see here he has the wrong Liliana in hand this time. Don't know why he shocked himself with the Overgrown Tomb there. He could have just played out a forest or a swamp to avoid the 2 damage. Lots of Mana Dorks. It'll be interesting to see here if he's brought in Anger of the Gods from the sideboard. It's going to be brutal. Oh, here, Chameleon Colossus, protection from black, so that's going to be handy. What do you pick off here? Yeah, he's going to go after the Archdruid. Get that last card out of hand. And he is starting to get some creatures in the graveyard for Scavenging Ooze to start eating. But Kevin with the upper hand now with this Chameleon Colossus. Oh, and there's Liliana, just on time. Again, he plays a Treetop Village tapped. I think he should have probably played that Forest untapped so he could activate Scavenging Ooze on the turn. Because if one of his Lords comes down next turn, he's not going to be able to block with the Scavenging Ooze. Here's a Collected Company. And there is the Lord I was talking about, Elvish Archdruid. So that means Scavenging Ooze is only going to be a chumper here, but this looks lethal on board, so I think we're about to go to game 3. Kevin Coe will strike back in Modern. Yep, there's the concession. Game 3 now. So he's got the Mana Dork here. And that's a pretty aggressive line, just taking down the Mana Dork. And here's another one, so there's plenty of them in the deck. it looks like Kevin's not hit his land drops twice in a row now, so this is a big one. If he can kill that Elvish Mystic, there's going to be a lot of problems. And it's... Oh no, he's going after the Heritage Druid. Okay, that's fair enough. Tarmogoyf going to get in now. And still misses the land drop. Can the Visionary find it? No, it can't. So, Bloodbraid Elf time. Oh, cascades into Anger of the Gods. I think that could be the match. Will McCarty's going to take... That was a brilliant hit from Bloodbraid Elf. Will McCarty's going to take Modern 2-1. Okay, with both players now taking standard a game apiece, standard and modern, we head to Legacy, where we can see once again Will McCarty's hand. He's playing green-white Enchantress. There's the key card, Gothian Enchantress. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, draw a card. I'll say straight up here, I'm not entirely familiar with this deck. This is the first time I've ever seen it. You can see Sears of Sanctum there as a key card. So he wants to flood the board with enchantments and tap the Sanctum and get 1 mana for each enchantment that he has. As I was saying, I've never actually seen this. I've watched it once on SCG Tour, but I'm not really sure what the card wants to do. I think it wants to, you can see from the Emrakul, it wants to create big mana and then cast a huge threat, but he's up against Eldrazi. So he's probably going to lose his Enchantress's Presence, which is just another Gothian Enchantress. Elephant Grass has a cumulative upkeep, where the opponent can pay for non-black creatures, pay 2. So it's Elephant Grass is a cheaper version of like a Propaganda. As he plays out a Sylvan Library. There's Enchantress's Presence, 3 mana Enchantress, but there's a lot of power on the board on the Eldrazi side already, so... And Karakas is not very good here. There's no legendary creatures in the Eldrazi deck. He tries to place Green Sun Zenith for 1 and got countered by Chalice of the Void. I'm not sure what he was searching for there. 9 damage, so lethal on board next turn. Uses his Ghost Quarter to Ghost Quarter himself, it looks like. Green Sun Zenith. He's paid 4 life to put a card back on top. I don't see how he gets out of this. He's going to Green Sun Zenith for something here. Hey, no, he's decided he's going to concede. So we're going to go to game 2 very quickly. Kevin Co on Eldrazi. After Kevin took down standard 2-0. Will came back and took modern 2-0. So this is the deciding match. You can see the Doomwake Giant. That was from the Theros block. Didn't see a lot of play in standard. But some early battlefield presence here. He's going to load up that tropical island. If there's a wasteland or a Ghost Quarter on the other side, it's going to be a disaster. Down comes another Mimic in a Mattery shaper this time. Going to pump up the first Eldrazi Mimic. So 5 damage about to come across. 2, 5. He would actually be dead on board if Kevin has a reality smasher next turn. So what can Kevin find here? Got to push through 14 points of damage. Does he chump block? No, he goes to 5, so he's all sorts of dead here next turn. Here's a ballista for 1. I don't know what he can find here to get himself out of this, but it looks like the match is over. Kevin Coe is going to take it 2-1 to take the set 2-1. He's going to win Legacy 2-0. Here's Doomwake Giant. Blister in response will shoot him to 3. And I think... Well, no, he's still alive. 2 blockers, 2 attackers. But he's going to concede. I'm not sure why. I actually reported that wrong. Kevin Coe took down Standard and Will McCarty took down Modern.